Breaking right now at this hour, Governor Laura Kelly vetoes a bill that requires people to use restrooms in government buildings that are the biological sex assigned at birth. Just minutes ago, Governor Kelly announced her veto of that bill, saying it would have numerous and significant consequences beyond the intent of the bill. She claims the language would prevent certain family members from visiting loved ones in nursing homes or college campuses, or fathers to accompany daughters into a restroom. House Republicans claim the governor is choosing politics over women's privacy.